Peace. Peace. What's going on? Another episode, another day, another dollar. Put in perspective. It's your boy B Mad. Got my brother Raymundo. Telemundo. Hit your SAP button. How y'all feeling, man? It's been a little late for us, man. What's up, Ray? What's good, man?
Man, you already know. But we gotta do first. It's from Santo Domingo to Panama to Miami to Nueva York.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Man, ain't not much, man. It's been a long week. We had a very productive week, man. Like from we got a chance to kick it with Apartment 5B podcast on the hip hop tip. We discussed our favorite rap opening lines and closing lines. Gotta give shout outs to Kill. I'm saying the brother, he really looked out, extended that invitation to us. Portia, homeboy Vern, Ev, Trey Lee, MC extraordinaire, and home JR on the R&B tip. Yeah, man, we had a good time there, man. And I'm looking forward to maybe possibly going on in the future. What about you, bro?
Yo, big shout out to Kill. From the beginning, he just, he switched this up from simple things. Yo, try StreamYard. We on StreamYard now. I don't want to shout them out. We took their logo off. Yeah. But shout out to them, to the Kill, Portia, Vern, Ev, Trey Lee, and JR. Big shout out. My goal is to get next time to get JR boogieing in his box up there in on the Zoom call, because he'd be going crazy if you got the right line. But shout out to them, bro. It was amazing. We were like, that's our first guest appearance. It was love. Love y'all, man.
It was definitely love, man. And the response, the feedback from that was crazy. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I shared it with family and friends. They were like, "Oh, this is ill. You guys look good. Y'all really got something. I think y'all found y'all niche." All types of people was hitting us up, man. Like, it felt it, man. I'm so thankful for the whole Apartment 5B, man. Like, that was a great look for us. You know what I'm saying? Just to help us, branch out, network, keep us going, man. So yeah, here we are. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep doing it for y'all, man. Doing it for us. And, we here.
Definitely. So what's up? Let's get into these Nets, man. What you thinking? Officially, the best in the
beast from the East. Yo, Philly better watch their ass, man. I mean, it was only a half a game. If we could have been in first place. The one game that KYRIE did with James Harden, they gave that up. You could have easily been in first place at the moment, but I'll take it. We went 9-4 in the month of February. James Harden just won freaking Player of the Month for the month of February. He was also Player of the Week, like I believe the second week or the third week of February as well. His has been phenomenal. Him and KYRIE as a duo together, minus KD, because KD, resting up the hamstring, but KYRIE and James Harden as a duo are 9-1. Like, I mean, in the last several games, last 10 games. So everything's looking good, man. Like, as long as they keep playing good, playing the way they're playing, it's all right for Kevin Durant to sit out. So I'm not mad at that. He's gonna sit out during All-Star break as well. So we'll see, man. Long as he comes back healthy and tries to implement himself back into the offense, and we get a good flow before the playoffs, we should be good.
They're 9-1 in their last 10 altogether, but James Harden and KYRIE is at the bottom. James Harden and KYRIE, when they played the last 9 games, they played together 9-0. So,
yep.
I just wrote the blog today. I'll get into Kevin Durant in a second. Oh, I could get into it now if you want. Are you worried about KD? Because I think he is like. Go ahead.
Nah, I'm not. I really think that, listen, due to them having the success they're having without him, it gives the organization ample time just to rest him up, because playoffs are coming in right around the corner. It's not too far. We're in March now, so it's like we're 2 months away. Got like another 35 games. Play one more game before the All-Star break. Gets that week off. He's not playing the All-Star game. And then I could see him possibly coming back maybe towards the end of March just to get a good feel of the offense, get his legs, see legs back in there, you know what I'm saying, get back court, get a good feel for the offense and for the team. But I'm not too worried about it. I think they were just playing it safe. You know, he's coming off a big injury. He's, you know, just recouping off of ACL. So, you know, let's not play with that. I mean, if they were losing games, it'd probably be more pressure. But since they're doing so great without him, rest up, man. I'm fine. I'm not too worried.
You know what? That I think you're in the same position. We're in the same position that we talked about last time. I mean, Kevin Durant, for me, I'm not excited about the offense. Like, the offense is what it is. We know what it is. But for them to be Bruce Brown falling in place, like what they do with that small ball lineup, you know, against Embiid, I'll get to that in a second. Yeah, that's the biggest concern. You know, Giannis, that's the biggest concern. You can't have that small ball lineup. But for them to be getting in a groove like this, and of course, you know, Kill brought up, oh no, it was Trey Lee that brought up D'Antoni being on the bench and them not being defensive minded. Well, they don't, like, all they needed is a little something. I think like I said in the blog, I can see this being, you know how ESPN does, and all these guys, they're gonna start talking dynasty because they're just the most exciting team. Even with AD there, my thing is they were missing the on offensive rebounds with that was killing them against the Clippers. Last night against the Spurs, the kid Morris. Oh, is his name Morris? Murray. Jonathan Murray. He hit the two to tie, send into overtime.
Oh yeah, John Murray. Yeah,
that doesn't happen with KD in the game. It just doesn't. He's gonna close it out, or he's gonna get fouled, and he's a great free throw shooter. So, but what I'm most excited about is him cleaning up on the defensive end. You know, you have Bruce Brown at the small ball, like I said, at the center of small ball. Well, what happens when they do small ball with KD at the 5? And on defensively speaking, he cleans them up. He cleans up everything. So, what he did in Oklahoma City in the last season, and then how Steve Kerr used him defensively, that's what I'm excited. They don't need offense. They don't need it, but he has it just in case. And his mid-range game is he can do it. I don't know if he can set the pick and roll right like DeAndre Jordan, but I can't see this being, it's not a minus with KD on the court. Right? Like that doesn't make sense to me.
Of course not. Right.
No. And Kyrie missed the game before, and he did come back. He missed the game. He missed before the Spurs game and missed the game. That's when they took the L to it was a blowout.
Yeah.
I forget who it was. But I did want to touch on him real quick, pause, because Thursday after they won their 9th game in a row the other day, you said it from the beginning, like, yo, you got to give Kyrie a chance. It's that and a third. For me personally, he gave us a reason since he was with he left LeBron in Cleveland for that last season. He gave us a reason to doubt him. He went to Boston. He was just, you know, there was a lot of things where it's like he's in his mid-20s, and a lot of us have an awakening like that, or we just think on that level. And of course, he has a higher profile position than most of us, and he's growing in front of our eyes. And it was Kaepernick-ish in terms of being irresponsible, how he's talking. But we never seen Kaepernick talk the way Kyrie Irving did the other night. I am bought in 100%. This is him doing what Kaepernick was supposed to do, in my opinion. When you play the sport and then you got the microphone in front of your face on a nightly basis, now he's defending himself. He sounds like he's comfortable in his own skin. Like the number one thing he said, I said what I said. And I think Kobe should be the logo. That wasn't even the big thing. He said, I'm a king. I'm a black king, and black kings created this thing. So yes, I'm saying what I'm saying. And it was defiant, But this time around, he seems so comfortable. And more than anything else, the biggest point of all, there is no boycott of the media. He's talking to the media. So this whole big thing about a boycott with the media never made sense to me. You know, even when you're on social media and you're on your own personal thing, but now he's in front of the public. I gotta commend him. I love it.
All right. I mean, there's a few things with that though. The Colin Kaepernick comparison. Colin Kaepernick was not that Kyrie Irving is. Two, you know, he was the quarterback. He only played once a week. He wasn't gonna get that. He's not gonna get that platform Kyrie is. You know, I mean, it's a little different. Like the NBA, you know, these guys have much more leeway in the NBA than they do in the NFL. So I mean, on that front, it's just different. And then Colin Kaepernick, he was a good quarterback, but he wasn't great. Like he wasn't like, yo, this is all right. He took them to the Super Bowl. With the defense really helped them, but he was perennial quarterback. He wasn't like a top 10 quarterback in the league. He wasn't their star player. I mean, you know, so I mean, in that sense, I don't like that comparison with him and Kyrie. I mean, yeah, they're talking about social issues. That's where the comparison is at. They're talking about social issues. But as far as Kyrie, as him playing in the league and him voicing his opinion about certain issues, I'm all for it. And I just had a feeling like when he came to Brooklyn, when you have someone like Kevin Durant, someone else is just gonna, you know, another superstar, so a top 2, top 3 player. You know, it's easy to he's taken the pressure's been taken off his shoulders, so he's able to talk the way he's been talking. And just so happens when they got James Harden, now you got another perennial player that takes a lot off your shoulders. So it's easier to play that way. Boston ain't even had that plays. He was the focal point. Brooklyn, he's not the focal point. You know what I'm saying? Like Kevin Durant and James Harden, clearly the better players. I mean, Kyrie's great. He's one of the best players in the league. But James Harden and Durant, they're top 10, period, in the last several years. Easily. Maybe top 5. Both of them. You know what I'm saying? And so different, man. The pressure's off of Kyrie. And obviously, like James Harden is just setting up the offense. Kyrie already told him, like, yo, you're the point guard. So with that, like, it's just a totally different mentality, man. It's easier to get comfortable in this environment, in this atmosphere. And the way they're playing, it's like, there's no egos. Like last night after the game, Kyrie, like his press conference, I don't know if you've seen it, like the way he says, no egos on the court, and don't worry about no clashing, no one's worrying about who's doing this, who's doing that. Like we're here to win. Like, and that mentality from all 3 of them, because a lot of people, yourself included, a lot of people's like, yo, this is not gonna work. The crybaby syndrome is gonna come out some way, somehow, and it has not reared its ugly head. These guys are trying to win a championship. And I think it's just championship or bust for them, because it's win or go home. Like the team as is they have a chance to win the chip. So it's like, yo, listen, we trying to get this ring, and all that extra shit, all the outside noise and all the, you know, negativity, you gotta put that to the side, man, because they can do something here.
All right, we could end that real quick. I never thought if it was Kyrie and Durant by themselves, they weren't going to win. It wasn't going to happen. James Harden is playing differently with them. And yeah, we agree about that. We agree about Harden gets there and he changed his mentality. That is really my point. The Kaepernick thing, where you make a great valid point, is that Kaepernick, where was his relief? You know, there was a lot of pressure on him. But to say that he didn't have that platform to do all of that, he was the biggest star in sports. He's up there with LeBron, at least nationally, while taking the social justice.
Win.
After he started kneeling, after Trump, the president, called him out, and you had a bunch of Republican MAGA dudes coming after him. Colin Kaepernick was definitely the popular. athlete
he put the target on it. He put that target on himself. But before that, as far as him playing wise, he wasn't he wasn't a top 10 quarterback.
No.
Okay. Kyrie Irving is in a different situation.
Yes, but Kyrie was also did not know how to handle the expressing yourself in public, all pressure on me thing either. My point is that he had a chance to relieve the pressure by staying in Cleveland for that extra season from the guy who has the most pressure in the league, or the most attention, I should say, with LeBron, who he could have learned some more from, but he was resistant. He was very young. He was very immature with his approach with people in general and expressing himself. It took him up until recently. Whatever turn of events happened for him, I'm happy is my point. He did what I wish. My point is, by what I wish Kaepernick would have done, by getting back into the spotlight, taking advantage of that platform, and then boosting it. Kaepernick, Kyrie is still talking that shit, and I love it. But now he's doing it defiant and just so comfortable. There's a lot of swag. He just looks comfortable. So that's really my point with Kyrie.
But my thing with that is like, all right, as far as I know, or I can wrong, Colin Kaepernick did sign something that he wasn't supposed to make statements about the NFL. I know they had, they paid him, X amount of money. I don't know if there's like a non-disclosure agreement where he's not supposed to like trash talk them or something like that. I mean, he can use his platform for other social issues. Like he's still doing his thing. It's not he's not vocal about it, and you're not seeing it everywhere on TV, but he's still doing things. He's doing a lot. I mean, Kyrie.
That's my
point. NBA though is not the NFL. You know this.
It's not, but it's still the dude who's kneeling with the fro with taking on the social justice for Black Americans, and he's made it more. And he really catapulted the subject. It became totally political, and he was the face of it. All I'm saying is if he had, whether he was playing or not, whether he signed that contract or not, if he had the transformation in terms of how to present himself in public, like Kyrie just did, I would be more of a fan of Kaepernick. But I don't want to veer off that way. I just want.
My thing is, what did he do in public? What was wrong when he did in public? Colin Kaepernick.
There's a lot. He didn't answer for like the whole not Che Guevara, Fidel Castro stuff, the pigs on the side, like all that stuff. You're splitting the public, and it was totally confusing. And then when it came down to it, Jay-Z came in there, and that had to be turmoil between them, because the reports are Jay-Z spoke to him the day of, hit him with the SBN, and then showed up with Goodell in front of the world. And that, that way he didn't like that, because everyone around him spoke on it. And again, it was everyone around him that spoke on it. He didn't speak on it. If he was doing what Kyrie was doing right now, I would have to respect. Everyone will have to respect it. If they don't, they're just the morons that they're gonna be. But for me personally, I like how Kyrie's doing this now. That's you just said it yourself that his mentality changed. We can't say that it didn't. We disagree about that?
Yes, but I totally agree. I told you that from the jump for a minute, that Kyrie's whole outlook, he did a 180. He did a 180. James Harden did a 180. Kevin Durant did a 180, because they're trying to win. They know they're in a position where they can win in Brooklyn with the team as is. The Colin Kaepernick situation is totally different. Like his platform, the NFL, or when he was in the NFL, is not the same platform as a player in the NBA like LeBron James or someone like that of that stature. The NBA is going to give you, they're not going to put muzzle as much as the NFL is on African American speaking now, because the NBA is fucking 95% African American. It's built on of African Americans predominantly. The NFL, yes, but the NFL, the America's game, really is not even baseball anymore. Even now,
with Jay-Z there and him could have
just but all that's happened. This is the aftermath of everything that Colin Kaepernick put in place. Because a few years ago, a lot of people was a different tune. everyone flipped the script all of a sudden once unfortunately brother George Floyd got killed, and then the NFL wanted to do exactly what Colin Kaepernick was saying and protesting about. All of a sudden, all these corporations, all these companies, the NFL, Jay-Z, whoever, everyone flipped the switch. You know, now it's a different story. 6 years ago was different. It was a different tone, man.
All right, so I'll give you that. Where Kaepernick, you think it's a separate platform, but I think what I see from that is Kaepernick's situation has more heat anyway. He had more heat on him. I gotta say that, because it is the NFL. The NFL makes twice the amount of money as the NBA. It has way more eyeballs on them. Even on that Sunday, it's a spectacle every Sunday. It's an event every Sunday. But he's not that talkative. He's not that guy to do that. And I felt like he was in a the way he was communicating was Kyrie-ish several months back. But now what Kyrie's doing is what I wish Kaepernick would have been doing in terms of just vocally.
Yeah, I mean, but everybody's built different, man. Yeah, I mean, but personality-wise, I mean, Colin Kaepernick, yeah, he's a little more soft-spoken, a little more quiet. I mean, his message is loud. It was loud. It was received. You know what I'm saying? It was polarizing. It made we're still talking about it 6-7 years, later. A lot has changed since then. He just goes about it differently. You know what I'm saying he went about it differently. Someone like Kyrie, he's a little bit more about that action. It's much more vocal. It's just the personalities is different. So yeah,
it could be a personality thing. Point is, I might even buy a Kyrie jersey. That's how much I love how he spoke the other day.
I actually ordered one. Kyrie and KD. So
I don't mind it. Before
I just got the shorts. I just got the shorts today.
Oh yeah, which ones? The Coogis?
Nah, just some regular team joints, like some practice joints. Got the logo on it. Got Brooklyn Nets on the side. Got the big patch. Black and white joints. It's dope.
Do you think James Harden should be in the MVP conversation?
Yes. You got to start talking about him right now. He led. KD, remember, KD played the most for the most, the month of February. James Harden averaged damn near a triple-double. His numbers are 25, 10, and 8. He's had 3 triple-doubles in the month of February. He's had 11 double-doubles. You know what I'm saying? Like they had a 9-4 record. He's player of the month. Like what he's doing right now, he won a game without Kyrie or KD against Phoenix. That's a playoff contender. It's a playoff team right there. Like, he should improve it. If he's not in that conversation, something's wrong.
That Phoenix game.
If there's anybody that disagrees, he shouldn't be in it. That Phoenix game was crazy, bro. That had us hyped. Go back to the tapes, folks. Go look at that post-game action from that game. You know what I'm saying? That game was crazy. So if anyone thinks he's not in the conversation, they're insane.
And we just said it. 9-0 with Kyrie in the last 9 games. They didn't have that with. It was just KD and Kyrie. He changed the culture. I don't know if it was him personally, but I think, like you said, once you got a guy like that, it's 2 top 5 players potentially on your team. Kyrie fell back. He played his role. Like, there was no ego. So maybe Harden has a lot to do with it, laid back. If it was a Westbrook style guy, I don't know how that works. Obviously, they wouldn't trade for him. But
it doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't think it works either. But I think he's in MVP conversation now, and we have 30+ games to go. I think he should definitely be in it. And I understand people wavering because of not spending enough games with the Nets, but this is another 180 with the Nets culture and enthusiasm. The way they're playing is just, even though the Nets have been doing that for the last 2 or 3 years, it was just with KD and Kyrie, you didn't know. And all of a sudden with Harden, it's almost like, oh, we know this is potentially a great team, a great championship that we're going to remember, we're going to talk about. Who do you think is
Absolutely.
the Nets? Who do you think is the Nets' worst matchup in the playoff 7-game series
Woo.
in the East?
Oh man, it's got to be Philly. It's got to be Philly. I don't see Boston posing a threat. I don't see Milwaukee posing a threat to what they have. The reason why I say Philly is because they play defense. You got Doc Rivers leading that defense. They have an MVP player, probably the number, he probably will be the MVP in Joel Embiid. He's a big man. There right now. That's Brooklyn's weakness. You know, is at the center spot. I mean, they do play small ball, but Joel he's going to draw DeAndre Jordan out there. It's going to open up those lanes for someone like Philly, like a Ben Simmons to attack, Tobias Harris to attack, even Seth Curry. Like that's gonna be their problem. And they play physical. My worry with the Nets is the offense is great, but come playoff time and you play more physical teams, when they start putting those bodies on you in a team playing one team for a whole series, you're gonna see how they match up and how they react to the physical play. But at the same time, I see them going to the finals. I still pick Brooklyn because I just think their offense is just too high powered, and their offense is their defense. I've been saying it all season, like the way they're playing, they're gonna shoot you. They're gonna shoot another team out the game. They're just that good. The offense is just that good. Even if it's a close game, they're favored to win because of who they have on the other side of that ball. So we'll see.
You said that shit beautifully, bro. Because if it's the Bucks got a great net rating. The Utah has the best net rating in the league. I think it's 8 points. The Nets only have a net rating like that because of how bad their defense was all year. I think it's like 4 or 5 right now. But
and it's got better.
I think it's gotten better. And like I said, I can't wait for KD to come back for the defense. You hit it on the. I'm with it. Philly is definitely the #1 matchup, and I don't see them being a problem at all. To be honest, I can see them getting swept. I can see Philadelphia getting swept because Embiid, Embiid is gonna. He might want to smack Ben Simmons. I was watching him the other day, and you might have to take. And we were talking to Kill about it, and I understood the frustration after watching it late game to Cleveland. They couldn't close them out. This was embarrassing, to be honest. Ben Simmons refuses to shoot. He hit a 3.
Lost to Cleveland twice. Let's just.
No. That's different. That's different. It was a different squad. It wasn't. We weren't. The Nets weren't ready. Philly's already Philly for the last 3 years. You don't know what to do in crunch time with Embiid already. Ben Simmons on the offense. Go set a pick. Or go to the bench. Doc Rivers might have to seriously think about putting Ben Simmons on the bench if it's crunch time and you got 2 minutes left. If you're a liability, you're a liability if you're trying to win. And Embiid, as far as Embiid goes, I would let that dude score 100 points. I dare you. He doesn't have the stamina for all that going up and down the court. And even
Will
then,
you let him be Will Chamberlain for a game?
Well, I dare you. He's not doing 100. He's just not. And I would refuse to let him in the lane. He's improving on his passing out of the double team from what I've been seeing. And he has this knack for doing these. Sometimes it's a flashy pass the way he comes out of it, but the way the Nets are rotating off, or when they switch and rotate on defense, they can really throw some how you say, not a deflection. They could just make it seem like it's something that it's not, and they can really intercept a lot of his passes because he's going to throw out of the double team and he tries to be too cool, and he does not have the players to do what he wants to do. I think they're doing Ben Simmons a disservice out there, to be honest. But I can see the Nets being in Philly 4 or 5 games easily.
I love the way you're talking, brother. Hey, if it happens, it happens, man. That's great. That's a great look for us. I'm not mad at that. We'll see, though.
So we were talking about this off mic earlier, man. And this was speaking of Kaepernick, speaking of social justice issues. the way Rick Carlisle responded to Lloyd Pierce's firing in Atlanta was it was interesting, to say the least. I'll let you go first because I was yapping just now.
I mean, I hate to smile, and you know, when you talk about stuff like this, man, but it goes back to our conversation on the last episode about GM, the front office, and these dudes are scumbags, and they stink, quote unquote. What Raymundo say, they stink, B. Listen, the timing of this, and Rick Carlisle, yo, peace and blessings to Rick Carlisle for saying what he said. The timing of this, my man said, Black History Month was just yesterday, and you dudes go right around the next day, fire this black head coach in the NBA, his first year, Lloyd Pierce. The guy spearheaded. He's the chairman. He still is. He's the chairman for the coaches for racial justice in the NBA. The reason why every coach, white, black, whoever, every assistant coach, the whole coaches that wear those buttons and those hats and those uniforms with that sign on there is because of that guy. He spearheaded that. And the guy y'all chose to fire his first year. Like, come on, man. The timing of this stinks, man. This dude helped lead. He was the first coach in the NBA, if I'm not mistaken, to Rick Carlisle. I got to go do the knowledge to it. But he's the first coach in the NBA to sign up the Atlanta Hawks arena to register people for voting. You know what I'm saying? Just because of what COVID was going on and everything with that. And Georgia, the state of Georgia, flipped from red to blue due to that county. What's the name of the county? Oh my gosh. Well, Atlanta Station is one of the biggest counties, or is the biggest county in Georgia. He helped flip that. The reason is there was a recount and everything. The reason why they went blue, that man plays a hand into that. Joe getting that state. That's crazy. And for you guys to fire this dude on his first season, we have an injury-plagued team. I mean, listen, the East is still they're in 10th place right now, correct? They're 14 and 20 or something like that. They're in 10th place. AC ain't far off from that. They're still in contention. It's still a tight race. This all-star break, anything can happen in 35 games, 36 games. And you fire this guy? The reason why I feel they probably fired him because they didn't like the way it was going. Like, all right, well, at least we got Nate McMillan, the assistant coach, who's also black. So it's not going to look that bad. We have another black head coach behind him. This whole shit stinks to me, bro. I'm sorry. This is some bullshit. And I applaud Rick Carlisle for calling it out. Because like you said, say it again, these GMs stink, B. They stink, bro. Go ahead, man.
Dominique Wilkins is the vice president of the Hawks. Grant Hill is a part of a group that purchased the Hawks, and he's on television.
Yes.
Rick Carlisle is almost forcing them to speak on this, especially the way it went, because of the way it went down. The way initially I thought, yo, he's just saving the coach fraternity, and he doesn't want these guys. You know, they're gonna have, you know, assistant coaches that go around the league, that float around the league and get hired somewhere else, and he doesn't want that to be the trend, which can possibly be the same thing that's going on with the players, and eventually that'll go down a wormhole, and who knows where that'll go. It'll look like social media where it's just revolving doors, and then there's like no control. Because the fact of the matter is, I always look at leadership, government, regardless of what you look at it, as parenting. Like when we hear about a lot of conspiracy theories and shit, to me it's like, yo, you can't tell your kids everything. They won't understand everything. So no, we're not children. but
True.
I don't think the government, I don't think leadership should be informing everyone. But if your kids had a revolving door of parents, how the hell would that work out? We know how that works out. We know how that works out. So I think Rick Carlisle is saying, yo, he's made a stance. Popovich had followed. I'm not sure what he said. I forgot, to be honest. But the other side to that is this. That was an SBN move by the Atlanta Hawks because they had Nate McMillan there, and like you said off mic, and you forgot this point. You had another black guy waiting there because if it was another white dude to replace him the day after Black History Month, it would have been probably even more of a firestorm. But they won tonight. They beat the Heat, who have been playing well lately. And, you know, the only thing I could think of is when you're in a position like that, that's quite the risky move to make. So you must know something, have seen something that we don't know about, but you're taking a big gamble. Right. Even though, I mean, we were talking to Vern last week on the Apartment 5B podcast, and he let it be known Lloyd Pierce is supposed to be a defensive coach. So the Atlanta Hawk fans sound like they were quite displeased with their performance as well, because there's a lot of talent there. But like, you know, how can you not understand the injury bug and everything? It was a poignant statement by Carlisle, man. I didn't expect it. I usually expect Popovich and Steve Kerr now also. They've been consistent with that. That's why it kind of shocked me with Carlisle. But also, Carlisle does not ever strike me as a disingenuous dude. I never heard him like play around like that. Right. And I've always liked him since he was replaced by Larry Brown on Detroit, and he got screwed on that because he really, if they had Rasheed Wallace, they're winning. You know, that Detroit team was amazing, regardless. Like Larry Brown to me, I don't want to say it, but these people are gonna hate me. Larry Brown's a little overrated. He doesn't know how to coach stars. He had LeBron, Carmelo, and D Wade on the bench.
I've always felt the same.
Yeah,
I've always think about Larry Brown. Look ahead. I'm sorry, man.
No. I mean, the Iverson thing was cool, but I don't want to veer off. Carlisle he's a top coach ever. He got to be a top 40, 50 coach ever.
Yes.
You know, so well respected.
Easily.
And he's going to keep his job. Mark Cuban is on the same link, on the same wave as well. And Mark Cuban is a guy that was when Donald Sterling, the whole fiasco went down. He was talking about this is a slippery slope. I don't know. You know, he was just, he had another point of view. But when the George Floyd thing happened, God bless the dead,
180.
He changed 180 because I don't know if, and even with the whole national anthem thing, he threw some talk out there about, hey, maybe we shouldn't even play that national anthem. You know,
let's not forget also Dallas had a whole situation with some employees, and I think it was some sexual harassment issues going on a few years back. Remember that? And he had to hire an African American lady as the head of the front office, I believe now. I forgot her name. But yo, they had to change that whole culture, bro. So he had to change his whole mindset. So I mean, listen, I mean, I get it. But yeah, I'm not gonna veer off, but you're absolutely right, man. This whole call, I'm glad Rick Carlisle said what he said. It's unfortunate Lloyd Pierce lost his job.
Yeah, and especially with the Mavericks, it's interesting because listen, Cuban has a lot of slippery statements where he's not a fan of the AAU type of basketball. He'd rather have Europeans because they're more coachable, basically. And I think when you make statements like that, especially being a white owner, people could take that a certain way. I think Mark Cuban has enough respect.
Yeah, I can see that.
As an intellectual.
But I get what he's saying.
Right. You know, which is another topic I wanted to talk about some other time, maybe, with the Lucas of the world.
Yeah.
And LaMelo Balls of the world that did not go to college here. They didn't play here. I mean, LaMelo did up until what, 18. Then he was really around his brothers, his father. He's always around the older people. And LaMelo, LaMelo looks great.
Yes. I just want to quickly add, like, I'm not a fan of AAU ball. Like, I haven't been. I feel like it's been it's kind of been a detriment to the league. Like, yeah, man. I mean, the whole style of play, like, just too flashy. Kids not learning fundamentals. I mean, I get it. I mean, we from the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know what it is. You trying to get out. You trying to take care of your family. You gotta do what you gotta do. But yo, a lot what goes down is like these kids don't learn the fundamentals of how to play the game. And you got these European players that play the fundamentals, been playing against grown men for years, and it was teenagers. It's a little different overseas in Europe. So, they learn the basics. They learn, you know what I'm saying? They just learn all the fundamentals, and they come over here and they excel. It's been shown. It's been proved like the last, 20 plus years. And, well.
And initially,
we
I didn't
saved that
like.
for another podcast.
Yeah, we
Now,
will.
go
Because
ahead.
I didn't like. Nah, we will, because I didn't like the one and done before. I thought Kobe Bryant was an anomaly. KG was an anomaly. A lot of guys that came in young.
Yeah.
I forget the guy that won the chip with Golden State, Sean Livingston. He hurt his knee. There were a lot of players, and maybe it was the fact that they were one and done. Maybe it was the fact that they weren't going overseas. Brandon Jennings is the first person I can remember making that move and saying, I'm not going to play in college. I don't want to participate in that. I'd rather get paid if I'm going to, risk playing a game. And he gets to play with grown men. And he saw like Ricky Rubio playing, and he was unimpressed by him. But I thought Ricky Rubio was going to be the next best thing. He just needed a jumper. But, going to that point, we're kind of evolving. Like, what's next for the league where these guys might have to get together? I was thinking they should, sponsor the HBCU colleges. But the next level might be, you might have to compete with these guys overseas, the Chinese leagues, the European leagues, but again, that's a different conversation. And, Mark Cuban it's just interesting that it is coming from Dallas, and you do have these philosophies, these, different kind of philosophies. And I did see Mark Cuban on the Earn Your Leisure podcast, I think twice now. That's a big thing. That's a big deal. That's giving them instant credibility. So, and that's, like you can't, like I said, we got to respect the Carlisle's reputation and integrity. And I got to respect Mark Cuban's integrity, because he went out there and he spoke his piece. He sounds like he knows what the hell he's talking about. And I think he does. Right. But again, Carlisle's statement, I believe him. And it was compelling, and it was dope. I like that he stood up for like a peer of his in the coaching world.
Absolutely.
Ready to close it out, B? You the closer, you the Mariano of this thing.
Oh man, the Mariano of the Marriott. Got to throw a Hove line in there before we go. Yo, thank you everybody for tuning in this week. I know we had a little long layoff. Usually we every other night, but we back at it. Hopefully, we see y'all. We got some things lined up, right, Ray? We got we're gonna talk about the Biggie documentary. Jay-Z still with Moet Hennessy. Meek Mill making some crazy bars, crazy comments about Kobe. There's a lot of things going on, and we definitely got to touch on. But we're gonna definitely save that for the next episode. You know what I mean? But
we shall.
Until then, signing off. It's your boy B Mad.
Boy Raymundo taking it back to Santo Domingo.
Santo Domingo. Raymundo, Telemundo, hit your SAP button. Yo, love y'all. Thank y'all for watching, man. Please hit that subscribe button. You know what I mean? Follow us. Follow me on Twitter at BMad730. Follow my boy Raymundo at Bqeperspective TV on Twitter. Oh man, I'm tired. I'm tired. I might got that wrong.
Bqeperspective, you got it,
man. Follow us. Yeah, man. Follow us, man. Love y'all, man. Peace.
You already know.